Things that people need to appreciate is that Australia is an island continent, and 99% of our traded goods travel by ship. So ports are essential to Australia's wealth and prosperity, and the Port of Gladstone is really essential for Queensland. It is Queensland's largest trading port, and it is the essence for the development, the economic development of central Queensland. It is the main significant piece of economic infrastructure in central Queensland. Yes, well, the LNG industry is just a clear example of what Asia is doing to help our economy in Australia. There's a significant growth in demand for LNG, and what's happened in Queensland is we've established the first LNG industry based on coal seam gas. It's the first time in the world that coal seam gas has been turned into LNG and exported. So it's a world-first industry, and from 2006 to 2014, a number of companies started the process of developing that process of harvesting the coal seam gas, sending it to Gladstone and then processing it into LNG.
I sort of look at it from my perspective that I started back in 2008. The throughput trade was around 77 million tonnes. At present, last financial year, we did 120 million tonnes. So that's nearly a 56% increase over that 10-year period. So just to see the development of the areas that have been provided and created, plus even the vessel movements, we're now sitting close to 1,900 vessel movements in and out of the port each year compared to the 1,300 10 years ago. So I think the port's in a good, strong position from a throughput perspective, and there'll be steady growth as we move forward. So the port's been a great social partner in regards to apprenticeships and trades, working with a number of organisations to facilitate that training and development. As I said, being in a smaller organisation, there is a lot of advantage in being able to gain different skills and experiences in projects, and I think that's what the port tries to create.
My duties are when I'm sitting at the control panel, you're in charge of the train, so you communicate with the train, you get the train speed right, you've got to get the tonnage, so you get a nice even flow so you don't block chutes with spikes, etc. You also control the tripper, which actually puts the coal on the stockpile. That's where it comes out of. It's a movable piece of machinery. And you also talk to the dozer drivers to make sure everything's safe, so you've got cameras on everything. You've got to regulate everything, the train speed. You've got to communicate with the train driver, the dozer drivers, upstairs. You've got to answer the phone. So you've got two ways in the phone that's happening, and you've got to watch all the control, all the screens at the same time. So it can be quite hectic at times.
The Port of Gladstone's inside the Great Barrier Reef World Heritage Area. It's not inside the Marine Park, which is outside of the port limits. And obviously, we, on a number of levels, look to ensure that our port activities are undertaken in a manner which ensures that our harbour is not just kept in a good environmental state, but it's also a great recreation and fishing harbour for Gladstone. There's a significant seafood harvest in terms of banana prawns and mud crabs that come out of Gladstone Harbour, and they today remain at better levels than they were 25 years ago. The value of trade through Gladstone Harbour today is around $25 billion. By 2020 it'll be over $35 billion. And the amount of actual revenue that flows from that back to the government in terms of royalties and taxes and tax equivalent payments is around about $2.5 billion, and that will increase over time. So Gladstone Harbour and Gladstone Port is a significant contributor to the wealth of Queensland and also to the wealth of Australia. We are one of the major trading ports in our nation, and we are the port that's always been focused on our long-term future, the port that's always been focused on the balance between the environment and the economy and our social obligations. And so by doing that and continuing to do that, we'll continue to grow this port, and that will continue to create significant prosperity.